to the greatest.
Hey, you know J. Ray got girls here going way.
Hey, Wagwan.
I was about to say hi, hello,
Hello,
Wagwan. Can you not?
Yeah.
But okay.
And welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Radio. You feel what I'm saying? No, but seriously, this is this is the first episode in a while for y'all that were following me through that 1 week of consistency. Appreciate y'all.
Am I supposed to be hearing you?
Can you not hear me?
I can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now? The rain. Let's start this over. No, just like but for real, I just want to give y'all an explanation video before I start posting all the other good content we went out this week. Had a very traumatic experience. You know what I mean? I gotta take my glasses off now because I'm about to cry.
And I'm here for emotional support.
Yeah, she's here for emotional support. Nah, for real. So should I start from the beginning? So it was a Tuesday, you know what I mean? No, it was a Monday because I had called you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I called you. It actually happened that day at that night. And what was we doing? Was we planning for that Tuesday? I don't know. We just be talking.
No, we had plans for Saturday.
Oh yeah, we had plans for Saturday. Damn, we did. And we had plans for Saturday. And I kind of felt, my body felt weird that day anyway, but I was like, I'm just go through it. And so I was supposed to go to the gym, and then I didn't end up going to the gym. So I had a bowl of cereal when I got home. I was tired anyway. I think I had pulled like 60 hours last week, if you count both jobs. I had 2 bowls of cereal, and that shit was just sitting on my, like it wouldn't digest. The shit was just sitting on my stomach, so I was like, maybe I'm just a little bloated, you know what I mean? Because I even felt the food from the day before. I had some Chili's, I ain't gonna lie, after work. Probably shouldn't have had that. I want to see what the triple dipper was like. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see what triple dipper people talking about. But I ain't gonna lie, that's what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what people talking about when you get on that toilet. That triple dipper get you on that toilet. But nah, I wasn't that, so it was just sitting there. And then that night, I think I was editing our video. I got to the intro part, and I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm finna take a shower. It's already 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go to bed. I had tossing and turning this shit. I'm like, God damn, bro, this shit's so discomforting. Like, it ain't like a stomach ache, but it felt like it was working up to a stomach ache. It was getting there. It was a little discomforting. And so, like, it got to a point when, you know how, like, when you be on the toilet and you feel, like, constipated and you start taking all your clothes off? That's how I felt. Not in the toilet. Not in the toilet.
I've never had to take off all my clothes.
She ain't black, y'all. She ain't black. Y'all, the real black people, y'all understand what I'm saying. But, what's that ringing? These mics good, because I bet you take this off, you can't hear it. Yeah. But, you hear the ringing?
I heard something, but it stopped.
Okay, I thought I was, like, about to pass out or something. Okay. You know how people hear ringing in your ear?
I hear ringing in my ear all the time, but yeah.
You might need to go to the hospital after me. You might get you checked in, twin. All right, I'm gonna put you on the nurse battalion. I'm gonna put you in there. But yeah, I was where was I at? Where was I at, twin?
You were tossing and turning. You felt like
I
I
said I had to get butt naked in the bed. I never did that shit before. That's white people shit. That's going back to the last episode we did.
Wait, nah, I do that.
Nah, y'all nasty as hell. Yo, you be raw dogging the sheets, twin. What the hell? Nah,
Damn, my sheets. The hell?
Yo.
Continue with the story.
Yo. So you don't take clothes off. You guys, we take. All right, cool. All right, so I was tossing and turning, and I was like, man, fuck this shit, bro. So I finally I probably got like maybe 30 minutes, hours sleep before I had to wake up next morning at 3 a.m. I'm like, bro, this shit hurt, dog. But I'm like, I'm gonna go to work. My ass on the way to work. I'm like, ugh. And like the roads in Atlanta, bro. God damn. So it's like twin. That
It's like
shit,
double, yeah.
Nigga, twin. That shit was like a roller coaster. Like, that's like a roller coaster if you just ate a pickle or some shit. No, pickle. That's crazy. If you just ate a lot of food at a carnival, that was crazy. That was a wild. I ain't gonna lie, that was a wild choice of a food selection too. That's wild. But anyway, I'm sitting there, and then I get in the job, and mind you, it's like I open, so it's like me and maybe another person, and maybe it might be a third triary, third person. Let me just go to a third person. And we get in there, and I'm like, bro, I can't do this shit. So I try to go take a shit. Really want to come out. And I was like, bro, I got to lift boxes after this. Like, how am I going to do this shit? I'm not doing this shit. So I literally walked in, tried to go take a shit, didn't work. And then, like, I think it was 30 minutes past, and I told one of my fellow employees, like, bro, I can't do it. Them niggas thought I was throwing up in the bathroom. From what I heard, that's what people have been telling me since. But nah, I was like, I couldn't do it. So I literally drove back home after clocking in for 30 minutes, clocking out. And then I think I didn't even text my boss. I just went back home and I laid down. But like, it was so bad, Twin. You literally, it hurts. You know, usually anytime you sick or you hurt, like laying down, you think is the recipe.
It'll help you, yeah.
It help you. Nah, I'm tossing and turning. And surprisingly, like, Twin, you got to think about it. That's from 4 a.m. till my dad asked me to go to the hospital 7 p.m. We're going to get there.
Oh, wow. So
that's
you went the whole day.
Twin, I was like, yo, I'm battle testing now, yo. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how, because I'm a big baby when it comes to pain, Twin. That's why I was like, I think that's why it took me a long time to realize I probably need to go to the hospital, because I know, like, sometimes I feel like I overreact to certain things, especially when I got, like, a sore throat. Yeah, I can't do shit. I can't do shit when I got a sore throat, bro.
So that's a real good space to be in, like being aware of yourself to know, like, normally I would probably run for the hills, but because that's my norm, let me try and push through this, because it may not be something as crazy. So,
you know what I'm saying? I'm a little tough, you know what I mean? Despite what y'all think about the light skins out here, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you said it. I didn't.
Wow, that's crazy as fuck. Y'all see? Never mind. I should did a solo episode. But nah, so anyway, I'm tossing and turning, and this is when we should have realized shit was real. So I'm like tossing, I'm like, God damn, I'm trying to, and I'm like, you know, I hate to be, you know, I'm pooping here and there, but it's coming out like a little liquidy and it's not coming out fully. You know what I mean? Like the cereal's still sitting from yesterday. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I tell my dad, like, please, you gotta go. And I hate when I tell my dad he's sick, because he like takes care of me, but you don't know if you're gonna get the patronizing, like, that's what your ass get for you, know, goddamn, or if you're gonna get the annoyingly, you need this, you need that, which you would want, but it's like, nigga, I'm in pain. Like, I really don't want to hear nobody's voice right now. Right. I just need you to get the medicine and come back, Twin. I just need you to give me a soup, come back. I just need you to give me some water and come back. You know what I mean? That's it. I don't want to hear nothing. But no, it was cool. I told him to go get some goddamn laxatives, some Tylenol, some Pepto-Bismol, everything under the sun. Twin, I took all that shit. I still couldn't, like, fully, you know, use the restroom. So that's when we should have known. And then it got to a point where I stopped laying down. That's why I was leaning on my bed like this. I just look crazy. If you just walking in the hallway, you just see me standing up like this. It looked crazy. And my dad was like, you need to go to the doctor? And I was like, why not? Maybe they'll give me some medicine, real medicine that I need, some stronger medicine. So we in the car. I'm like fucking in agonizing pain. I'm surprised I haven't cried yet, like how painful it really was. Yeah, my mom came with me. And I'm already expecting, like, I'm like, man, we finna have one of these movie type experiences where the doctor take fucking 5 hours. We got to curse out the people at the table. But surprisingly, they got me back there in like 15 minutes. And mind you, it's a Tuesday night. You ain't thinking the hospital going to be, you know, the emergency room going to be full. Twin, that shit was packed as hell.
The emergency room is always full.
I did not know that. But I also have heard of, like, another reason why it'd be full is because some people go to the hospital and they really don't be having no emergency. Like, some people go and they have like a tummy ache. Like I thought I had. That's why I really didn't want to go. But I was like, shit, this shit hurt. This shit have fucked up my money. I ain't gonna lie. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I need to hit that thing, you know what I mean? So we get there, like, we giving them information and shit, and I'm sitting in the patient room. Mind you, Twin, I went in a T-shirt, some baggy-ass shorts, some slides with no socks on. I ain't think it was gonna be that many people. I was like, and the crazy part is, I was too painful to be embarrassed. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting there goddamn owning the grown in this shit. People looking at me and shit.
That's your regular attire.
Not without the socks, though.
T-shirt.
Yeah, it really is. No, but I had some, like, Twin, I look like a 08 dad. Like, I look like a dad. I look like a Jamaican father, for real. I did that looking without the khaki shorts. I just had a, nah. The Jamaican dads, we have the collar shirts, the khaki pants in.
I'm about to say, what Jamaicans got?
I look like a black dad. I like a black dad,
okay.
yeah. I know that's my regular fit, but at least I, you know.
I get you. I get what you're saying. It was like a little bit, it was like the inside version.
Yeah, I ain't comb my beard or nothing. I just went. I was maybe 20 hours, yeah. But went in there. They got me through it in 15 minutes and shit. They just honestly, it really still took a long time because they got me back there pretty quick to like the private waiting area. They got some fluids in me, and this is how another sign I knew was bad because they kept giving me fluids, but that shit was not helping. It was supposed to help with the pain. It was not helping with the pain. Like they did like 4 or 5. Because I think they had like a mini UIV, but it wasn't connected to the real UIV, so it was just like a little needle and a thing, and they just kept putting it, and they just kept putting the thing in there, and it was just sat on my arm. And mind you, like Twin, like I'm always say I'm grateful for my dad, but just him having to be there as like an emotional support, like you hear, like I'm talking about, it took me back when I was little. Like I said, I couldn't sit. It hurt to sit down. Yeah. So the whole time I'm in there, I'm sitting on him like this. my face is all in his neck. Like I feel like I'm little again type shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna cry about that.
Yeah, I probably needed that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It did. But and he was there for me, you know what I mean? He sat there, comforted me and shit. You got a little goddamn El Poco over there. That nigga was knocked the fuck out. He had
El Poco.
I don't know, it's some Mexican man. He was over there laying down on the, was that racist?
Just maybe a little bit. Like, where did that even come from?
I don't know. I'm a little sleepy. I ain't gonna lie. The real me coming out a little bit. No, I just playing. Dumb political side. No, I just playing. But no, it was a dude over there. He was sitting down. It was a different experience too, because it was like a dude sitting down over there. He was literally laid down across the bench. This nigga had a whole blanket on sleeping. I was like, I know this nigga been waiting for a minute. Yeah. I know I'm be waiting for a minute. But they did a good job of like going back and forth, you know, giving me morphine and stuff. And then finally, they was like, we're gonna get a CAT scan and shit like that. So we waiting on the CAT scan. Then these motherfuckers tell me they did an ultrasound, twin. I'm like, God damn, I know I'm fat, but like, bro, come on, man. Like, come on, man. But luckily the doctor was cool. She was like, you want to go in a wheelchair? Or I was like, nah, I'm walking. I'm not sitting down in no goddamn wheelchair. Luckily she was cool with it. It was a slow walk. I feel like I was one of them old people that was just walking against the wall and shit. And she was cool about it. You know, I made a little joke about it. I was like, tell me if it's twins, doc. You know what I mean? Let me know something. Because I've never heard nobody give an ultrasound. Like, I heard MRI, CAT scan. Ultrasound is crazy, especially for me. I'm a man. Like, what the hell I'm doing an ultrasound?
It's to see what's going on inside.
Nah, nigga, that's for babies, bro. Like,
or it's to see what's going on
inside. They
inside.
thought I was a stud. That's what that shit was. They thought I was a stud. That's what's going on.
They were like, you might be pregnant. That's
yeah, I was like, and I made a little joke. I was like, let me know what's that. She was like, okay. She played along. She said some quirky shit. But so we got the ultrasound, which I didn't even know was a part of it. Went back in the waiting room, waited for an hour. At this point, I'm finally falling asleep. I told them to give me a blanket. First of all, it's cold as fuck in there, and I ain't got no socks on. So they finally gave me a blanket, and then we finally went to do the CAT scan. And I realized, bro, they be hiring anybody now. Like, you really can get, it be anybody, twin. Like, this nigga, and he was cool, though, but it's just like, the shit he was saying, I'm like, this nigga's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga was like, yeah, what you doing? He trying to comfort me and shit. And at this point, I had to do the wheelchair because they had to get me there quick or whatever. Because everybody, they kept saying it was like the CAT scan thing was busy today. So that's why it took so long for me to get in there. And yeah, what you do, man? What you doing? I'm talking about the radio station. I'm like, nigga, I'm in pain. I really don't feel like that. He's like, yeah, man, I got some ideas, man. I'm gonna ride with you when you get there, man. When you get up, when you going to get to, and like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm like, they be hiring anybody. Like, and then when I left, he's like, holla at you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see you on the radio station. We're gonna talk about some things. Let's do it. I was like, man, get me up out of this, bro. I was like, please just hurry up and give me my whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
To get out.
Then an hour go past. We went back to the private waiting room. I'm sitting there. I'm sleeping on my dad. They ain't even say, hold on, Mr. Ray, we're gonna wake you up real quick. That lady came back. Okay, Mr. Ray. I'm like, bro, like, and it was good. I was finally started falling asleep because that pain was getting to me. Like, I needed something to be unconscious. And she was like, yeah, we the CAT scan results came back, and you got an infected appendix, and we're gonna put you through surgery tomorrow. Whenever the first surgeon or whoever's available first thing tomorrow. And I was like, damn, you ain't gonna answer no question like how I got infected, when it got infected, how bad is it? I just gonna wake me up and then throw me on the gown, no fucking underwear, and shit like that. And it was crazy. And then they put me in this room where I thought was gonna be my room, but it wasn't my room. I thought it was gonna take me up to a next room, another room somewhere, and they never did it. Now, this is what we get into it, twin. Remember, you were talking about earlier. I was like, damn, them nurses, I ain't gonna lie, man. I see what you're talking about. Them nurses fine, twin. And I was in so much, after I realized I needed surgery, the pain really didn't hide it didn't distract me from the embarrassment. Then I started feeling a little embarrassed because once they put me in that room, then I started getting more nurses like close, looked like they was close to my age. They were cute. I was like, damn, man, they got to see me like this, man.
Worried about the wrong thing. Worried about the wrong thing.
I know.
You preparing for surgery.
I know, but I'm just saying, twin. Like, I wanted to hop down
too.
in the crazy part. I wanted to hop down too. I was like, you want to make me feel better, baby? You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't even do it. But shit was cool too. They was like, I'm sorry, I gotta do this and do that. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, them nurses fine. I ain't gonna lie, even the ones that was giving me the medicine earlier, they was kind of fine. But I was in so much pain, so I was like, fuck that shit. But after I realized I was gonna get surgery, at least I was a little relieved that I know the pain ain't going.
Yeah, you know what's causing it, and you know that there's a plan in place, and you know that you weren't overreacting.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And that whole night, like they just put me in that one room, and they just kept me there the whole night. Like I kept falling asleep. I kept thinking, I was wondering when they gonna take me to my actual like room before the surgery or whatever. And I'm like, they just never did it. So I just I was just falling asleep, and every hour they would come in there, check my vitals and then give me some more fluids, and that was it.
Did your dad stay for that part, or he had to leave?
No, I think they left. That was the weird part, like, cause it wasn't like a stay room, like the one with the TV and shit. It was like a room, and I thought it was gonna take me to the TV room, and then in the morning take me to my. Nah, they just kept. They didn't even tell me what's going on. They didn't even tell me when, where. They just kept coming in like randomly, and then finally, like, I guess I don't even know what time it was at this point. Cause like twin, I literally that's all I had was my phone. Like I don't even know what my parents was. I think they didn't even tell my parents left or nothing. They just sat me in there, and then I guess like it was close to the morning. And it was like, okay, we finally got your surgeon. This is gonna be a surgeon. Blah 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 blah. This was gonna go down. Blah 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 blah. And then I sat there for a little like 30 more minutes. I'm sleeping and shit. Then they finally moved the bed out. They tell me they're gonna take me to the people that's gonna do my anesthesia, and they breaking down like, you may be at risk for this. We're gonna do this, but you may be at risk for this. We need you to sign here. I'm like, God damn, that shit crazy as hell. But it was like, normally it's like, any questions? I was like, am I gonna wake up during the surgery? Because I ain't gonna lie, I can't, you know what I mean? I'm not good with blood, and I'm not good with pain. She's like, nah, that's usually what we do the anesthesia for. But I'm like, are there any complications with that? Y'all talking about all the other complications and shit. Are there any complications? I was like, nah. And actually, it was crazy. They give you medicine to go fall asleep before they even do the anesthesia. So, like, twin, I don't even remember going in there. I don't even remember when they gave me the medicine. I just remember falling asleep before I even see the, you know what I mean? So, then after that, I woke up, and shit was kind of hectic because I had an Indian lady, and she's taking care of like 5 people across the, you know how loud and ruptures they get sometimes. She's like, no, Mr. Jared, are you awake? Are you awake, buddy? Are you awake? Her name was Miss Sheila or Miss Wanda. Shout out Miss Sheila Wanda. She cool though. She like a little mom. She was a little loud and shit though. I ain't gonna lie. She was a little rowdy. I'm just waking up out of surgery. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like you could be a little, you feel me? A little bit more softer. Yeah. No. I'm like, can I get some water? No, you get out and get water. You get an ice chip. I'm like, all right, man. Give me some ice chips, bro. Cause like at this point, my throat hurt, and I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing to me? Why my throat hurt? My appendix supposed to be hurting this shit. And she's like, you just went through surgery. We're gonna get you to your room and all this, blah blah blah. Would you like to see one of your parents? I said, both, nigga. I'm in pain. I just woke up. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't even remember falling asleep. Did y'all rape me? Like, what the hell going on? And then we're gonna get into that part because that shit was crazy. And we're gonna get into that part later. But she was like, you can see one. I was like, would you like your mother? Your mother's already on her way. I was like, I really want to say dad. I ain't gonna hold y'all. You know what I mean? But I was like, all right, go ahead. So my mom came and, you know, she was there, and then she asked some questions to the lady. She's like, no. Okay, I'll be right back. Miss Wanda, we need you to wake up. She talking to the other patients that just got out surgery. I'm like, God damn, so y'all just waking niggas up, ain't giving them no warning. You know, I'm gently waking them up, letting them wake up on their own. She was like, Jay, you gotta wake up. And it was crazy, bro. I guess it wasn't that fast paced, but I think because of how I was waking up and I was just, you know, my senses.
You're in the days, everything is slow for you.
Everything was slow for me, and everything was fast. And I was just, my senses coming back on and shit. So then they finally took me to my room, and this is where it gets to the part where you want to hear Twin. Let's talk about the symptoms and shit. First of all, they didn't tell me when you pee, that shit was gonna fucking hurt, twin. Like, first of all, it hurt just to get up. I need assistance every time I fucking get up out the bed. Because everything from here to here is sore. Then the bowel movements. This is where I was talking about I kept shitting on my goddamn self. Because you don't know if it's a fart or a shit. Because your bowels is a little sensitive at that time. So I kept shitting on myself. I ain't gonna lie. And the other reason, I ain't gonna lie, at one point I just kept doing it because I kept tired of getting up and it'd be some gas. And like, it take me 5 days to get to the bathroom, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hold that shit. I know that's the part y'all wanted to get to.
Oh my God, no. And I'm laughing because I remember the other day when you was like briefing through a part of the story. You was like, yeah, I'm be shitting on myself and da-da-da.
Yeah, he was like, you for the past twin. I ain't gonna lie, I shitted on myself.
So and then you just said like you just started doing it on purpose.
And then I did it twice. It was like, bro, it's either gonna be a fart or it's gonna be shit.
Once or twice is still alive.
But no, this is the crazy part, twin. First of all, I was fucking freeballing the whole day, right?
They didn't give you no diapers in there?
No. They gave me underwear, but they didn't give it to me. Like, they didn't give it to me, like, directly. It was like, here's your underwear. I had to ask for some wipes one time. Or they just brought some wipes, and I had to ask for some more wipes. And then that was another thing, too. I had clogged the toilet by accident because there was really bathing wipes, and I was wiping with my... Because I use wipes at home regularly, so I didn't read the thing. It was bathing wipes, and I had clogged the toilet by accident. It had to be 3 niggas had to come in there and unclog the toilet. They were like, yeah, this shit nasty. I was like, y'all, my bad. No, we good. But it took them 3 niggas, and they was unclogging the toilet. I was like, yo, my bad. They stopped bringing me wipes after that, too. So I realized they stopped bringing me wipes. They would just bring me... I just kept asking for underwear. But when they brought me the first pair of underwear, it was like 2 days later. I'm like, so y'all in here free... And you know the doctors, every few hours, they got to ask, come see the stitches. So while they see the stitches, my nooks and crannies out and shit. And it's just, twin, they were just so uncomfortable. And then, too, with the shit part, I kept feeling so bad because I'm like... whoever come in here and help me get up and change and shit, they gonna have to keep cleaning the shit up. But luckily, it's a pad under you when you feel me? Because they know some, I guess most of the old people can't control their bowels either way. So, but yeah, I didn't realize they finally gave me underwear. Even when they gave me underwear, though, that shit was crazy, twin. Because I keep forgetting my bowels are still getting used to making solid, waste. So it's still, And one time they had a streak up my back. I felt like a baby. I was like, God damn, this shit nasty as hell. And mind you, like I said,
signed a waiver before I came on here. I ain't know.
No, but I'm just telling you because I'm just telling y'all, whenever y'all, knock on wood, you hope you never had experienced anything to go to the hospital. Because that was the other thing. I've never been to the hospital before. I've never had any crazy, crazy surgery, a medical condition or a medical scare. So I'm just letting y'all know this is my first time experience. I'm just sharing the experience with y'all or what y'all have to expect when y'all go. And then they got to a point where them niggas start getting lazy, man. Like they'll change the pad that was on the bed. But I remember I got a little bit on the bed and these niggas didn't change my sheets. So I'm sitting there looking at, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I hope shit don't smell. So it was so embarrassing. So I felt embarrassed. I was like, luckily at that point I didn't have any bad nurses. I ain't gonna lie. I had maybe one that was, she was all right. But luckily it was more the older people, or it was like one guy that was like, I ain't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Shout out to Nahir. Well, no, I forgot his name. Nagdir. He's black too. It's crazy part. He's Jamaican too. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll
just don't name drop.
Yeah. No, he was cool because we're gonna get to that part too, twin. He was remember I told you because they rotate all the nurses and shit. So I'm getting a different nurse day and night. But once I got to him, I remember I know the medicine makes me sleepy. Most of the medicine makes me sleepy. But for the most part, he was noticing. He was like, yo, you been sleeping pretty hard, man. And I remember when he first came in, I was like, this asshole nigga. It was just the way he was talking to me. I was like, I really didn't like him. I was like, man. Versus the very first nurse I had, she was caring. She always asked, like, what do you need? But she would actually do it. I was like, can you help me do this? And she was like, no, for sure. No, you good, sweetie? Anytime a woman use sweetie or sweetheart, they care. They care. They doing their job. The rest of them was kind of lazy. It was like, it got to a point where, they give you the button to call people when, anytime the nurses are not there. And it got to a point where, like, sometimes I feel like the nurses felt like I was inconveniencing them. And I get it. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of this stuff I tried to do on my own. But like I said, everything was just super sore. Like, I was cut open and lasered. Nigga, like, my shit hurt. So I'm trying my best. But sometimes, I can't, like, it take me 10 minutes to get to the bathroom and 10 minutes back. That's why I just kept shitting on myself. I was like, fuck that shit, man. Like, ain't no point, bro. And it hurts to pee. And then the pee goddamn blue and purple and shit. And I'm like, bro, twin, it's so embarrassing and so uncomfortable. And I'm sorry I got to share this with you. But you
sharing it with everybody.
I know, right? But this
I'm
shit,
just here for support.
But I'm telling you, twin, like, it hurts so fucking bad. Like, I'm sitting there when it look like I'm like, versus it's supposed to be relieving, but I'm like, damn, man. Everything was just so, it was a different experience, twin. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
I see.
That shit hurt. And you gotta take the IV thing with you. And if that shit gets stuck and you're not close enough to the toilet, hey man, yeah, can y'all come clean up in room number 5? No, I just but I ain't never get to that point. But what I was getting at was Buddy was comforting me, right? I mean, we finally started having that conversation. He's like, you sleeping? I was like, yeah, man, I got 4 jobs. He's like, 4 jobs. And that's when he shared with me. He was like, man, something our parents don't teach us, and I'm Jamaican, so I got a major father. Oh, I didn't work, money. Go to school, if you go to college, that automatically means you're gonna be successour. You see, yeah, you get into it.
I already know.
Yeah, and so one thing he shared with me was like, one, I wish they would our parents would teach us financial literacy and saving and investing more than just making the money, doing something with the money that's going. Make more money eventually, where you don't have to work too hard. You make your money work for you. You don't work for the money. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And the other thing too, it brought me into a mindset of like, damn, I really probably should slow down. Because I think the first time I texted you, what did I say?
Oh, you was worried about Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, don't speak to
hospital. Like, yeah. And the crazy part was when they told me, going back to when they first told me I had to get my appendix removed because it was infected. The crazy shit, I wasn't even worried about my health. The first thing I was like, God damn, I missed out on all this money. I was like, I was working so hard. Like I said, the last 2 weeks, it's crazy because that check hit that Friday that I was being dispatched from the hospital. So when I go lie, man, I had like 3 checks come in. It was all like, I ain't gonna dispose the money, but I'm just saying it was the most money I seen. And the money in my account now is like Twin, remember we was writing down monthly goals? I ain't never think I could get there. You feel what I'm saying? So I was so ready for the second week, and then that nigga said, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna think about it. I'm just glad to be here now. I got my surgical, all that stuff removed. But I think that was an awakening moment to where, you know, he even gave me advice. He said, you know, he didn't ever, and it was crazy because he never asked me. He eventually, I think he never asked what jobs I did or what like I, you know, wanted to do for a living. He just like, you need to get one job that pays decently and then work out a plan of how you're gonna chase your dream. And it's funny because I never told him what I wanted to do. So it's just like, it was one of those moments where, and y'all know how I am about religion, and so I'm saying, but that was a spiritual moment because I didn't share that much with him. I just told him I had 4 jobs, but for him to say that, and I had already been thinking about that in the back of my mind when I was working 4 jobs, that I just needed to do a hard reset of just getting one job and then just using that job to invest in whatever I want to do. It was just an awakening moment. I was like, damn. And I was sleeping hard as shit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It wasn't just the medicine, like, twin. And that, I ain't gonna lie, them hospital beds so goddamn comfortable, twin. You can press the little button, let it go up, down, you know what I mean? And the great part, I ain't have, you know, I'm a nigga that sleep with like 4 pillows. I'm like a woman, I ain't gonna lie. But I only had 1 pillow on my back, and I was good. I was like, yeah, man, this shit good. You got people catering to you and shit, you know what I mean? You got free food and shit.
So would you say that the experience was something that was happening for you and not to you?
I think it was.
In a spiritual sense, because you said you know how you feel about spirituality, and I think more so you're still navigating and fearing, because you're saying you know how you feel about it. You don't know yet how you feel about it. You're learning what it means for you and how it's showing up in your life, right? So I just wanted to hear, like, do you feel like, granted, it was a painful situation, something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, but you feel like it was needed for you to have that experience?
Yeah, nah. First part, they kept asking me, and I know this probably tired of me because I ain't gonna lie, I had a little bit of attitude. You know me, I'm usually a really nice guy. Nah, I ain't give a fuck, bro. They kept asking me constantly, 1 to 10. I was like 20. Before they even figured, I was like 20. And they would write it down. No, they writing down 10. I'm like, nigga, put 20 on the paper. I'm in pain, nigga. Rush me out in this bitch. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It's a lot of people. I don't know. It's a lot of people I hate, but it's a lot of people I strongly dislike. You could think, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yeah. And I can only imagine, like, that was my appendix, one of your least important organs. I can only imagine, like, kidneys, heart. I do got about 9 on my pancreas that I gotta go read back because they's cancerous or whatever. But we're gonna figure that out because $3,000 is crazy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I ain't been working the last 4 weeks. Y'all niggas had some $3,000. That's the other thing we're gonna talk about. The medical field, them niggas. Anyway, I definitely think it was, like I said, it was a awakening moment, and it definitely, I think, needed for rest, and 2, maybe I was going down the wrong direction of getting 4 jobs and just like trying to rush to get that, how much ever I was for that camera. Because remember I told you I was like getting working this close to the camera and the lighting equipment to eventually quit, but I wanted to do it in a way of, I don't want to sit at one job and just wait. If I do 2, 3, 4, I can get the money quick. Like to build your stuff. I had added it up. Like if I constantly, but at the same time, it's not only that I was working 4 jobs. 2 of the jobs I was working 16 hours per day in 1 week. You feel me? Straight, like 4 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. I think I told you. So, and that was tough on my physical too, because, you know what I mean, I could eat on my first lunch break at the first job, but that would be the only time I eat. And by the time I get off, only thing that's open is McDonald's and Waffle House and shit. So I was eating junk food and fast food.
That's what played a rule in the health concern.
Maybe, No,
not maybe. That's what, it's the junk that you eat that causes your pancreas to be affected.
Not pancreas, my appendix.
Appendix. No.
I did the research on it. I thought it was, but it's not.
It's what?
It's crazy because they don't know. They're like, if you look it up, they don't, and they never told me. And I kept asking, and I kept forgetting to ask the surgeons because every time they come, I was in a sedated mindset every time they came and fucking talked to me and shit.
I ain't no doctor, but I'm 100% certain that the food
look
that
it
you're
up.
eating
No,
plays
look it up. I looked at. I said I thought the food. No, because
I'm not saying it played a vital role. It had to have.
I don't know.
It had to.
I don't know, Okay, doctor.
I'm just saying because I do know that the things that we do consume, it does affect us.
Yeah, in certain body parts, like maybe the pancreas, because I don't know what the pancreas, like maybe certain intestines, but the appendix's job is actually to collect good bacteria. So I don't know if food necessarily had to had to do with that.
And plus the plays a vital role.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up into it more and prove my point.
I'm telling you, I looked it up because I was trying to figure it out, and they even said like there's nothing you really can do to avoid getting appendicitis. It's one of those things that just happen, which I disagree, because if all it does is collect bad bacteria. I mean, good bacteria. That maybe it probably collected, one bacteria and they got infected. And that was the other thing I forgot to share that they did say that shit was bad. It was like, yeah, it was infected. Because usually you don't have to get it removed. You can like just take medicine to kind of control it. But sometimes it's better just to.
So you removed yours?
Yeah, remove. I don't have an appendix anymore, y'all. I'm appendixless. So we're gonna see how that goes.
I will say I did want to touch on the things that you learned in regards to it, as far as like the overworking and the fact that we as a people were conditioned to.
This nigga cutting grass, man. I was waiting for a car to go by.
That's what I thought so too. Dang.
Sorry, y'all. We got the garage open. It's hot as fuck, so.
And they outside working.
Yeah, they outside working.
Yeah, we about to wrap up anyways, but no, that hustle culture. Because ironically enough too, like while I was listening to you, I remember recently I've been having like conversations with myself. It's just like I'm realizing that the way I'm building my business, granted, I've shifted some aspects of my mindset to where it's just like I don't believe that we have to necessarily struggle to achieve the things that we want to, or shifting from survival mode to thriving. And I'm realizing that I'm still building my business in like survival mode, where it's just like you feel like you just got to get it, right? You have the plan, but now it's just like to execute the plan. It's just like you got to work real hard. And two things. One, of course, the mindset from our parents and our parents' parents, because we're not going to blame them for what they didn't know, right? You're saying that they should have taught us financial literacy in the sense of being able to make your money work for you. They evidently don't know how to do that, so they couldn't have taught us that, right? And then the other aspect is just like the whole self-made brand, like being a whole brand, right? Oh, everybody's like self-made, doing everything by themselves. If we were actively like working together, connecting with people on the same, type of time and wanting to do something, because there are people who are in the same industry that wants to do, but they're also doing it by themselves. If we're able to get to a place where we can come together as a community and start to build teams, small teams until it becomes something bigger, we wouldn't need that mindset of like just to keep on hustling because we're doing everything by ourselves. And I'm really only sharing that because it's something that I'm also literally experiencing right now. And I've already taken away the guilt of feeling like I have to hustle every day. So I don't feel guilty when I do take a break or take a step back from social media, or feel like I'm going to rest, or feel like I'm going to, not do something because I'm expected to show up in this certain type of way. Like if I'm, need rest, I'm going to take it, and I'm not going to feel guilty for it, because I'm also shifting and learning what does, life look like for me? What does pursuing my dream look like for me? And for me, I don't want it to be hustle culture or struggle or, working myself to a hospital bed because I'm on the go, I'm eating conveniently, but it's inconvenient type situation. That, and I just want to touch on, you mentioned the nurses.
God damn, man, all the trucks want to come through today, man. Penske, FedEx, and then they gonna park right in front of us, bro. That shit crazy as hell.
And then he look like he's trying to come over here and
then the crazy part is, the crazy part is, I got a call from Penske on the day I was getting out of the hospital for a job. And then they had to fire me, so get your ass home, man. I ain't want to get
fired you, or they didn't?
No, they the first call was to get more information on me, and it was like they're gonna reach out to the Atlanta market to see if they want to hire me. And then like a week later, I get the email, saying thank you for applying. You stop reading after that. We saw all the candidates and shit like that. So fuck Penske. Go ahead though. I'm sorry.
And then just the last thing I did want to touch on, you were talking about, the nurses are lazy, and for you, hold on,
yeah.
For you, it being your first experience inside there, you have to keep in mind that the way it's set up inside of hospitals, it's usually like one nurse
and then
to like 10
different people. No, I get that. And then what my problem wasn't the time in which it took them to get there, but sometimes and they wearing masks, but you can tell everything through the eyes.
Yeah.
Twin. And it was crazy because like I would only usually ask the night shift people, because I know during the day, like, bro, it's more busy. And they said, and one of the nurses told me, it was like, bro, I love the night shift. Even I was like, how you like overnight? I was like, yeah, it's way more busy. You would imagine during the daytime, like, it's a lot more busy. I don't know why, but during the daytime it's a lot more busy. So the nighttime is kind of chill. And then probably most people would be sleep like me and shit. So like I'll ask, and like I said, for the first few days I was scared to ask because I don't like inconveniencing people. Even though I'm the patient, like that's what they're there for. But it got to a point where like I ain't gonna lie, I kept for example, I kept folding my arms so the IU thing would go off because it can't read your vitals. And I don't know, I can't get up and turn the shit off, and I don't want to turn the shit off. I don't know what the fuck happened to me. But I'll push the button and it took me a long time to use the button because I don't like inconveniencing people. So eventually I got to a point where like, hey,
push the button.
Yeah. Push the goddamn button. But I got to a point where I was like, excuse me, can you, I'll teed it to me. Like, can you, so make it. And then they'll finally come and they're like, they'll ask me, do you need anything else? And when I say what I need, them niggas, really?
Dang.
Okay. But they didn't say it, but you can just tell, like, and they will pause sometimes. Like, God damn, like, I ain't even asking for a lot. Nigga just need a couple more diapers and some water, bro. That's all I'm asking. They do cook real food. Like, motherfucker, they had shrimp and grits in that motherfucker. I'm thinking they gonna give me jail food and shit. Like, they might give me shrimp and grits. They brought me some fancy, like, cinnamon bread, corn, and bacon and eggs, and I was like, yo, this shit kind of fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? They gave me turkey. I ain't gonna lie, like, the hospital has its up and downs, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of forced my last day too. I mean, the day before the last day to like stay extra day, because I ain't gonna lie, that shit was comfortable. It was away from home. You know, you're getting catered to.
And the stress of life. So sometimes, we need a break, but because we won't take the break, God will force us in a position to take a break.
That part, because I forgot to piggyback off what you said. That was the most important. What he said within that speech I told y'all was like, our parents also don't teach us how to properly rest. Our bodies need rest. Not only rest, like, I think a lot of times when we're rushing to do these things is because we want a different lifestyle, but we also forget, like, especially for me, like, my biggest thing is I've always wanted to travel. Like, the last 3 years, I really want to travel. I really want to travel. But I be forgetting, like, I don't have to be rich just to go to travel. Right. You feel me? Like, it could be planned. Just because it's not, I'm not financially there yet to do it, like, often, but I could still do it. If I plan it and I budget. That's another thing the parents don't teach us how to budget. If you budget right and you save up and you kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to navigate in a different way of, if you need to navigate, like, all right, I can't eat. You know what I'm saying? I can't eat out at the restaurants for the next few weeks. I got to put that money towards my trip I want to go on. And that's things I be having to slow down and think about too. It's a lot of things I want to do, but I be thinking I have to be, where we want to be in the future to be able to do some of those things. Yeah.
I actually plan to do an episode doing a deep dive into that aspect of it as well, because I was reflecting on, like, my year, and I'm like, I'm about to go on my third trip.
In 1 year, that's what I'm saying. And you didn't even know.
Halfway through the year. Yeah. And before that, like you said, I thought it was really hard to actually go travel and experience the world because you're living paycheck to paycheck. Or, this and then your expenses, you got a child and you got all this other stuff. Yeah. We're not even going to go into that. Yeah. But I was just like, dang, I'm able to do that. What else can I do?
That's what I'm saying. And sometimes if you just do it, like, you go out and do it. But it also goes into the place where it also, when I was in that bed, I was thinking about, like, damn, like, am I more I should be more appreciative of the little things in life than the bigger things that I'm trying to accomplish or to get to. You know what I mean?
Celebrate the little wins.
Celebrate the little wins. And like, take in the moments, the little moments, man. Yeah. Like, sometimes I saw this thing on Philosopher where we often chase things that we think are going to make us happy when there's, like, little things around us that constantly make us happy, but we're chasing those things that, society has kind of put upon us, like, or what we see on social media that we think is going to really bring us happiness and joy. And then, we got celebrities already telling us once you attain it, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Not even money wise, just other things. Like, maybe I'm trying to think of the things I was thinking of. Like, my thing is just traveling right now. So maybe traveling.
It's a term called destinational happiness. Yeah. So some people feel like they will be happy when they get to the destination. And because of that, they miss all the opportunities to be happy on the way. There was this quote inside of Pond City Market, inside of this back area that they had one time, and on the top, it was my favorite. I got to find a picture. I think I have the picture printed out because it was like my favorite quote. And it came from, like, The Pursuit of Happiness. And in it was saying, oh my gosh, I'm about to forget it. The pursuit is happiness. And when I saw that, I'm just like, I've heard, like, I understand that, enjoy the journey, but hearing it from a different perspective, it hit. Yeah. Like, I kid you not, I took a picture in front of it. I got the picture printed out in a physical form, and that's how much, like, the quote resonated with me. It's just like, the pursuit is happiness. And ever since then, this was years ago, I've made sure that I, find ways to enjoy the pursuit and loving myself through the process. That's another quote that came from Candace, one of my friends, where she was just like, love yourself through it. And that's something that I have been actively doing. And it's like, it really hits different when you are, like you said, focusing on the moment. And that's man, I could really go on a whole bunch of tangents.
That's why I wanted you on here. I know the first half, I was just, the whole time, y'all probably was like, why is she there? Like, but I'm telling you, it was getting into something.
I was just like, I should have signed a waiver for this when you started. You said shit one too many times.
But I had to. I was trying to look. I wanted to make it. I knew that was gonna be funny, but then when I was saying it out loud and hear myself, I was like, this shit, I should not be sharing. Like, I just told these niggas I really pooped on myself like multiple times. A grown ass man, like I'm a grown ass man, but like,
But yeah.
it was like the surgery literally affects your bowels. So yeah. But that was the funniest. I just want to say that because it was funny. It was funny because it was surprising me. I was like, I kept thinking, I was like, I know they said it was gonna have bowel moves and shit, but I was like, God damn, like I done shit about that 3 times. And then the last week I kept getting
your
embarrassed.
back was crazy. I'm not.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
I'm gonna look at you different.
Cause no, and they finally gave me the underwear. Oh, that was the other thing, Twin. It was crazy. It was like a movie moment. It was like a comedic moment. So we finally getting dispatched, and I'm getting up. And, I'm sitting over the thing because I'm still sore, but we got to go to the car, and this is when I'm finally going home. And I'm sitting up, and I'm like, yeah, they kept coming decisions, but they said I got 3, Dad. I got 1, 2. I was like, on the third decision, I'm like, yo. They shaved my balls.
Did they really?
No, I ain't shaved my ball, but they shaved some of my pubic hair on my happy trail. And I was like, yo, these motherfuckers was really in that bitch while I was unconscious shaving me, bro. Like, they saw everything, yo.
Oh my God.
Then I started thinking, like, how many people's in the room? Did they take pictures? Yo, I need to sign a way, yo. I need to sign a disclaimer. I'm still in the hospital. They saw my winky, nigga. But that's what I like. Look, it was crazy though the way I said it too, because my parents started laughing. Because I wasn't even trying to be funny, but I was dead ass. I was like, yo, this shit, like, yo, it was just like that. So I was like,
nah, that would be a crazy realization.
Bro, that was funny because I look, because all you see is I just put my pants. I was like, they shaved me up.
That is too funny.
That crazy. But I was like, damn, y'all ain't even ask me, nigga. Y'all could have woke me up and be like, yo, can I shave you?
You told the lady you didn't want to be woke up.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. But damn, like they didn't even ask, they just shaved me. I didn't even know that was part of the procedure. Like
they didn't know what was going on down
there.
Yeah,
I mean, they could have asked me before that hand. They could have gave me a shaver before I went in. Like I'm talking about Twin. Like that shit was just crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. My ass was all out and shit when they first gave me the gown. I didn't even know they had hospital underwear until like the 3rd day. So I'm like, God damn, everybody done see my nooks and crannies on port. I thought it was just normal. They telling me I gotta get up and walk to let my bowels move and shit. I'm like, nigga, nah, y'all should have gave me some underwear. I'm sitting there, like I'm walking around the hospital with my whole gown, like I'm a woman and shit. I'm like, here's the heart of a woman.
Some people they'll ask for like 2 gowns, put one in the back and one in the front.
I'm saying, bro, because I didn't know what the back was like. I thought it had a zipper or some shit. I'm like, I see what women gotta go through, man. This shit crazy as hell.
No, for real, because
I done seen somebody, I don't know if she a janitor or she just do cleanliness or something. She's like, you look familiar. I was like, I went to Clarkson. She says, oh yeah, I went to Clarkson and shit. I'm sorry you had to see me like this. Don't tell all the other people like you had to see me like this. She's like, I hope you get better and shit. And this is just a crazy experience, but we'll touch on that medical part though. That because them motherfuckers, it was crazy. I only seen the surgeon that did my thing. I'm thinking he like the movies. He gonna come see me and shit like, how you doing, buddy? I want to make sure at least my work is right. You know what I'm saying? Because every time where it was the anesthesia, after the surgery, before the surgery, they kept telling me all the complications that could happen. I'm like, well, goddamn, should we be going through the surgery? It sound like the complications are worse than what I got right now. You feel me?
That's the medical.
But the thing is, like, they really were trying to kick me out the hospital. Like, they was ready to kick me out the 2. I had to force them. I was like, bro, I am still in fucking pain. Like the day after the surgery felt better than the 2 days after that day. I mean, the 2 days after that day felt worse than you would think the day of the surgery. Because you just raw hurt. You know what I mean? But it was the last 2 days because that shit was hurting. So I was like, nah, nigga, I need at least 1 more day. And then it was like, okay, all right, cool, all right.
You gotta keep in mind, they got people outside waiting for a room.
Man, nah, I ain't gonna say fuck them. But man, build a bigger hospital. That's the goddamn problem.
I don't know what the problem. Like you said, we have to do a deep dive into that. Because like I said, I've gone to the emergency room once many times because I have a kid, right? Throughout all those 10 years, I've been to the emergency room at least maybe 4 or 5 times or so. And it has always been packed, and it has always been a long wait. Like one time, I was 5 hours waiting.
Bro, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Because remember, I told you when I took my bro 2 weeks later, I had to rush him to the hospital. It took us 4 hours to a point we just left. Yeah. But this was North Side, and this is Decatur. I thought Decatur was gonna be worse than North Side. North Side in the bougie area, they near Atlanta, so I'm thinking like it's gonna be different.
And you would think that too, because I've definitely went on the other side of town for a children's hospital, thinking that I'm gonna get a better experience, and it's like, the same.
Twin. When I walked into Decatur and I saw them people, I was ready to go. I was like, I'm gonna be that loud black angry man that's ready to. Where the fucking doctor at?
And as I'm thinking about, like I said, we can definitely do a deep dive on the topic, but as I'm thinking about it too, like the problem, because I'm just like, where is really the problem? I don't think the problem is within the medical field itself, but in our knowledge on how to take care of self. Yeah. Because like you said, half of the people who are there do not need to be there. Yeah. But a lot of people are not self-aware to be like, oh, my body's doing this. What's the reason? right?
Yeah.
I'm aware when I know my body starts doing something like, you ain't eat all day. You've been having girl lunches for the past 2 weeks. That's just gas. You need to drink some tea and you'll be all right. Like Jamaicans, bro, tea for ask any Jamaican you know, tea will fix anything.
Okay.
Tea will fix. What you thought I was gonna say?
No, never mind.
But a lot of people are not aware enough of self to where they can take care of a lot of their needs. Because a lot of the reasons why people go to the hospital, you can take care of that at the house.
That's what I heard. I can't remember where I heard it, but it was like the reason like the hospital is in the place it's at because a lot of people go to the emergency room and really don't need
Don't have an
emergency.
emergency, yeah.
They really so they're just like wasting space, wasting time for somebody who really needs it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was another thing. We could touch on that too. I want to touch on those two things because a lot of people was comparing kind of to the medical field of how the education is like nurses are underpaid and shit. And during COVID, I can agree. But some of y'all motherfuckers is just lazy, bro. Like I'm glad I had that experience of rotation of nurses because I had like really good nurses and then I had ones that was borderline fucking lazy.
But I mean, you'll find that anywhere. That doesn't have nothing to do with the medical
in the hospital is crazy. Or like
you'll find that anywhere though. It's people. It's a people problem.
Like one time it literally took them an hour just to come like do the little thing, and the thing goes off so loud, so it's like,
so they can hear it.
And I'm like, bro, it's 4 a.m. I'm trying to go back to sleep, bro. Like y'all not gonna help me? Or if I ask for some water and y'all don't bring me some ice, like nigga, I'm dehydrated and I can't eat. Yeah. Like mind you, I have to eat small. I have to eat like liquidy type foods like Jello, pudding, like soft serve stuff, and my appetite is not as big because I'm still, you know, my bowels and shit still healing and shit. So I'm like, bro, I need at least some water to hydrate or something put in my stomach because you know what I mean. I'm hurt and I needed. It was.
But again, that wasn't a hospital problem. That was a people problem at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then you got to keep in mind too. Some of them work long hours.
Yeah.
Some of them may have another job.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a factor of like what is that specific person going through while you're providing crappy customer care. Yeah. Versus like, man, this hospital ain't shit. The hospital ain't doing nothing. It was
last part. My surgeon actually was supposed to give me paperwork and like notice for my job. Mm-hmm. So my nurse was doing he was going out the way. He was like helping me read it and go through it. And we figured, I don't know what that's Penske, fuck Penske. I shouldn't even say, I'm gonna blur their name out. They ain't getting no free promotion. They ain't hire me.
I'm mad. How about to say someone inside the house closing doors and shit? Like, what the fuck is going on? Excuse my language, y'all. Sorry. Continue.
Man, you grown, bro. But yeah,
but it's out of respect.
Yeah, for the elderly.
Yeah,
watch this podcast.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. But there was a point where on the paperwork it was saying when I can go back or the leave of absence and my restrictions and all that. And we thought she had made mistake, so he was trying to go back and, you know what I'm saying, because the regular paperwork said I was going to be out for 4 weeks, the one that had my medicine and all that other stuff, but the paperwork to give to my job said I could go back like next Tuesday, and I'm like, nigga, I should really still be in this hospital, but y'all just kicking me out, so I'm gonna let y'all kick me out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could barely walk, and at home I just got a flatbed. I don't got no shit where I can, you know what I'm saying, like help alleviate the pain and lift this shit up. My dad don't even turn on the air conditioner. No, he turned on the air conditioner. I'm not even gonna do that to my dad. But it shit be hot in there. It don't be like great air conditioner like in the, I'm just saying the hospital is just way more comfortable. I ain't got that at home, so I know I'm be struggling like to get up. I don't even got no rail next to my bed, so when I be getting up, I was like, and shit like that. Versus in the hospital, you know, I can raise the thing, call a nurse, hold on to something. It just, I don't know, man. It just anyway.
How are you feeling now?
I ain't gonna lie to you, I had to text my chart, the lady in my chart. Feeling something. I think I had either but they kept telling me I would have complication in, so I either got a hernia building up or I got a UTI, and I'm hoping it's the UTI.
Yeah, because the hernia would be worse.
Bruh, I got to probably get surgery at fucking end, so hoping it's a UTI. Because it's crazy, like that week when I started calling you to schedule shit, I was feeling good. And I had just left the doctor the day when I started feeling whatever pain I'm feeling right now. I had just left the doctor. And I told her everything was good, and she just told me like I could go back to work with light restrictions, and I could start exercising again, cardio wise. Just don't do anything abdominal. So I was gonna play basketball, like not play, but just put up shots, do some cardio and stuff, and then the pain started again. So I'm just like, I hope we do not have to start all over again because I'm supposed to be going back the week after next.
Going back where, to the gym?
Back to work.
Oh.
So yeah. But anyway, Swin, the lady, bruh, long story short, he was trying to contact her to make sure everything was right. And she put her phone on Do Not Disturb. And it was a Friday, too, so she was trying to get up out of there. And she was probably stressed out, man, but Do Not Disturb, like, nigga, y'all know Sprout's been trying to fire me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need this paper right now, too.
They don't know that.
What?
They don't know that Sprout's been trying to fire you, that you need the paper.
But still, nigga, you fucking with people who work, like...
Yeah.
If you say I can go back to work next Tuesday, they're gonna take that word, and then I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm not. You feel me? So you need to like make sure whoever you did surgery, like they didn't have enough time to rest, because at the end of the day, you're the surgeon, you're responsible for that. So if I have to go back, and I don't have to, but like nigga, I'm in a position where I have to. You know what I mean? So if Sprout say they're gonna fire me because of what you put on this paper, and I don't go to work, then I go back to work, and you just put on the other paper that have restrictions, like I can't lift over 10 pounds, I'm not supposed to be bending, I'm not supposed to be crawling. Nigga, I had a breathalyzer thing where I had to do that shit daily, just because my lungs weren't strong enough either, and I was at risk for pneumonia. And for you to put the nurse that's trying to like help me, and he's going out his way to help me, because he didn't have to help me go through the paperwork and read that shit for me. He could have just gave me the work and like, oh, here's your leave of absence papers. Have a great night. He went through that and was trying to make sure, you know what I mean, everything lined up the same way I was. That nigga cutting grass.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure if it was like as loud in my ear.
Nah, them mics pick up, twin. I ain't gonna lie, them mics. That's why I was like, we need to figure out.
But I keep looking to see him pass right here. I don't even see this man. Like, how far?
But he doing 1 yard, twin. He been through your yard.
I'm just saying, no, I'm not worried about my yard. I'm just saying, like, he mad loud. Like, where are you? I thought he was gonna drive past. Like, I keep looking, like, bro, turn it down a little bit.
Nah, the mics pick up, like.
But yeah.
Like, see, he might be a minute, but anyway, my shit is just like, we got to do better in the medical field, y'all. And for y'all, especially for y'all that be saying, it makes it hard for the people that want to believe that it really is hard for y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is a stressful job, and y'all can't say y'all have to pay no more.
I don't know if necessarily. Well, okay, your situation obviously was a need.
Yeah.
I think I'm still thinking about the aspect of the things like a lot of the reasons why we're there. We don't need to be there, right? If we are able to take care of ourselves on a better note, like really starting to like, eat better. And,
but yeah, I'm talking about for the people who really need it. But that was just like something, like I said, my experience was 50-50, but that stressed me out because you know behind the scenes like how my job been doing lately, bro. And even when I had my car accident, bro, I think they was teetering to whether even excuse my absences. Then I'm like, bro, I can't get to work. I don't even know if I'm hurt. Like, yeah. So let alone I just got surgery. I already know they probably not gonna get, like me mentally. I'm thinking they not gonna give a fuck. So I'm like, and I need the job. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother a deep dive when it comes on to like jobs and experiencing things and how much they actually care. But yeah. So.
Any last comments from you? Or
no. Yes, I did have one. I don't think I got to say because I made sure I kept it in my head too. When we were talking about like going through life and building your dreams and this hustle culture, one of the key things is being present with self. All right, that's something that's helped me really get to where I am now, and of course where I'm going. But being present in the now, not worrying about yesterday, not worrying about tomorrow, right? Like, you're going through what you're going through and you worried about, dang, we're supposed to be recording on Saturday. Like, dang, I wanted to do this on Tuesday. Like, dang, I did all. Like, why are you worried about all those things that aren't even here yet?
Yeah.
Be present in the now, being present in what you're experiencing so you can realize and be aware, like, yo, I really don't feel good because, you were pushing through all this stuff because like, okay, I still got work at 4 o'clock. I still got, to do this. I still got to do that. So as a result, you were neglecting the pain that you were feeling and your body was trying to tell you like, yo, we are not okay. Yeah. And it's the same thing with like on a mental note, right? Even if it's not a physical ailment, sometimes our body sounds like, yo, we need rest. I need, and if you're in the present moment, you'll be able to hear your body more. One, you'll be able to hear yourself. You'll be able to hear your body to actually, take the best next step, right? Whether that be going to the hospital or, taking a nap or drinking some tea or writing down your goals for the day. But being present in the now is actually what's going to help you in the future. Mm-hmm. Worrying about the future is not at all going to help you. It's only what you can only do now. It's only what you do now is going to like make that difference. And I can't, stress that part enough. I know I said it like 3, maybe 4 times because it's being present with self is what's going to actually help you to achieve your goals, live a quality life and all of these things. Because a lot of the times, like, we have problems or we're stressed out about stuff and also that too, like, stress and working too hard can actually create physical ailments, right? So they say they don't know what caused that. It's probably just overworking and with the combination of the eating conveniently, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to end it on that. Be present with yourself. Be present in your now. And that's whatever you're experiencing now. Be present with that.
That's inspirational quote right there, twin.
Yep, that's it. And it's a wrap, y'all.
Yeah. No.
It is. What
you got to shout out your socials, twin.
Oh, man, they should know where to find me by now. But just in case this is a video.
You never know.
You're right. Okay. You guys can find me at a.redefinedme.ka on Instagram. I also do have a podcast as well, if you don't know already. And you can find me at thegroup.chat on Instagram and on TikTok for both of those socials, and the YouTube page, of course, the Group Chat Podcast. And yeah.
All right. Do you have a poetry page now, or you?
No, I don't have a poetry page right now. Like I told you, I'm in the place where I'm not trying to overwork anything. I'm not gonna have 5-6 different social media pages. It's already hard managing 1 and 2. So with A Redefined Me coaching brand, it's also kind of a lifestyle page, where it's like, I am a healing coach. This is what my lifestyle looks like, and that also includes poetry as well. You know, because I'm not gonna go full on into like trying to build a career as a poet, because I'm already doing one too many things. But you kind of that's like just something.
It's aligned with.
It aligns, right? Because also right now my poetry is speaking what I'm experiencing, the healing, the transformation, and it is healing. So it all does intertwine. So it's not like a full-on thing separate from self. It's also a part of me. Everything that I do is a part of me, and it's a part of my brand, a redefined me, right? This is me showing up as the best version of myself. Writing and sharing my poetry is not something that I would have done years ago. Like I used to always write, but never with the intent to share. Like that's literally in one of my poems. Never with the intent to share, because I'm sorry, yeah. In my head now, I'm hearing the whole poem. Like I almost just repeated the poem, but because the younger version of me rather used to be insecure of my own thoughts. I used to think that people gonna think I'm weird for thinking the way I think, or saying things the way that I say them, and people aren't gonna receive it. So I always used to do that for my own personal benefit. And you know, along the way too, I kind of like lost that a little bit, because there was no, you know, joy in my days and stuff like that. So like writing fell by the wayside. So since I've been living my journey redefined, living my life out redefined, I've actually gotten back into writing a lot more and really excited about it. So that's where the poetry thing started coming up. Like, dang, she do poetry too? I do a lot, okay? So this is just me showing up as my authentic self. And you know, you can follow me on a.redefinedme.ka to see more of that and learn and, you know, engage and grow and build and all the other good stuff that people trying to do.
Bro, when you said that, I forgot. That was another reason I was so worried about everything else. I mean, because every time I'm trying to start to believe I can grow and get to my destination, that's when, like, I remember when you said life happens for me when the car accident. Now I'm thinking, like, time would be bad, bro. Remember, because I remember that was just when I had just started getting consistent on Instagram, trying to figure out the algorithm. I was getting close to getting the camera. I had planned on, you know, start video editing again and start focusing on my film stuff. And everything just went to shit again. Because I remember that's when that car accident happened. Y'all see that episode. I'm going to drop that. That's unreleased. Got a little emotional on that one, so that's why I've been holding out on that one. But
oh yeah, because I don't even know what you said on that one.
When I was so, it was just like this. Like it was the same exact moment, because I was picking up shifts to get more money. Twin.
Take a moment to listen back to those episodes and see the things that really trigger. It's like, I know you're saying like, man, you want to believe that when I say life happens for you and not to you, that it's true. But one, it's only if you believe it, then it's true. If you don't believe it, then it's not happening for you, right? Because the power is in your belief.
And then the other thing was I observed a lot too. Remember I told you we ain't getting, that's why I ain't want to get into that yet, but the things I got into with my dad during the car accident
time helped you realize some things.
It made me realize some things. And then I didn't get into it with my dad this time, but I started observing my parents during my experience, and I was like, God damn. Like I started realizing where I get certain stuff from. You know, certain stuff my parents are still probably hurting from within their past.
While you're thinking that the timing of these things happening are inconvenient because of the plans that you have for your life, the plan that God have for your life is to help you to realize these things, because it's what's going to take you to where you're trying to go. Yeah. Right? It's going to help you really to see that bigger picture. Yeah. And it's coming in this time because you'll know what to do with the information. It wouldn't have come 10 years ago, because 10 years ago you would not have known what to do with that encounter or that interaction you had with your dad with that car accident. Right, that would just been another thing that
was like the opening, and then with this, it made me understand a lot more of who my dad really is and why. You know what I'm saying? He was, So
and you're gonna continue experiencing things, because that's how we learn. We learn through our experiences. We are not supposed to embody our experiences. There are things to for us to learn from and alchemize, and take from that what it's trying to teach you, like whether this makes me angry, I don't want to deal with that no more, or this makes me really happy, like I need to keep more of this in my life. And your experiences are your teachers, and again, they're not to ruin your life and be like, oh, my life is just effed up. My Like, no, learn from it. Like,
Learn
it's just
from
an
it, yeah.
experience. It's not the end of the day.
Figure out to make a negative out of a positive, because that's the one thing I took from that was like, damn, is this how I act? It wasn't even more of like, damn, this nigga need to change. It was more like, damn, is this how I act? Or it was more like, I need to have more grace, because I'm starting to see things like, it's things he just really can't control, and it's probably stems from his childhood, which he's always touched on, but he didn't touch on everything. But when you add up some of the stuff, of the reason why I went into the beginning of the documentary was supposed to be about me finding out more about him, because he's always touched on stuff like, but when you think about it, like little shit. Oh my God, bro, twin! I'm trying to rush it out.
I'm trying to rush out either, because this right now is about to be a whole part 2, or we're gonna have to like cut it and actually record and go into it. But one of the things is that when you're asking for something, you're asking to understand your dad more. You're asking to have a better relationship with your dad. You're asking to, like, you know, help him in what he's dealing with. And that's why you're experiencing what you're experiencing.
And initially
your prayers are
too,
being answered. Because you experience that because it's going to create a reaction. Everything is a chain reaction. And that reaction now is helping you to uncover the veil, or peel back the layers of what the dynamics is between you and your dad, the things that he's dealing with on his own that you have no idea about. And so, again, while you thought it was really just inconvenient for you, it's still happening for you.
You're
right? Those plans ain't going nowhere. Recording, building a podcast brand, you can take a pause today and come back 10 years and still make that happen, you know? So not saying that, oh, just stop, you know, building your dream, Still, again, be present in your now, so that way you're able to take away from what you're experiencing and what was intended to teach you and what you're supposed to learn about yourself, so that way you can effectively and be better in what you're pursuing and what you're doing.
I appreciate that, Swin. I need to hear that. But at the same time, all right, God, if you up there, whoever supernatural being was going on in the universe, no more inconveniences this year. Give it to the rest of them next year, because all these inconveniences costing me money. The car, the medical bills, I ain't even gonna get into that.
But the money ain't
I'm not even
important.
gonna get into that. That shit is crazy as hell. Twin, I would. I ain't gonna say that, but
I know I keep on
you
saying
can give me a little discount.
I know I keep on saying that because that's a whole different topic. So I don't
God,
even touch on
20, twin, should I say the number?
No, don't.
Cause God damn, y'all don't even do that much to be charging that goddamn much.
That's a whole different.
That shit
episode.
crazy. I was like, shit, I would have left the hospital right after the surgery if I knew it was gonna be that much. God damn.
Oh, for the stays, yeah, because you're getting charged per room. It's more than a hotel room.
Twin, that motherfucker. My dad even said
he was
like,
talking about something you eat good, you eat shrimp and grits. Yeah, what you thought? You thought ain't nothing free in America. That's one thing my dad told me.
I'll pay for the food, but god damn, what else? Like, nigga, what? I'll give y'all the number one day, but god damn, that shit crazy.
But I just want to touch on you were saying, like, you know, God, if you're up there, the Spirit of God is within you. Okay.
So I am God.
The Spirit of God is within you.
No, I can say it again. Because when I take this hair out, I look like Jesus for real, y'all.
The Spirit, you are made in His image, though. Right? Jokes aside, you are made in His image.
They better not put me on no cross. I can't take pain and shit. I already seen that.
But we're made in His image, and the Spirit of God is within you, right? So you're able, when you're communicating with, when you're talking with God, you're listening to the Spirit of God that's within you. That's how you're able to hear Him internally. He's not something that's outside of you. You're not experiencing Him outside of you, right? When you sit with yourself and you're in total silence and quiet, that's when you're able to hear God, because it's coming from within you. You have to be able to drown out all of those outside noise to be able to hear when God is trying to tell you something. Right, He communicates through like when you look at when you look at life and nature. I was about to say you get into that. When you're looking into like life and like nature, like life mimics nature. And I'm gonna end on that because I was about to ask. That's a whole explain that. Explain God mimics nature. So, because there's various different ways that God shows up in nature. So, for example, right, between like, all right, there's a part in the Bible where it talks about, look at the ants, look at her ways. She goes out, she gets her own food. She's not worried about da-da-da. All right, obviously I'm paraphrasing, but the ant is out there living its life and it's able to get exactly what it needs from life. It doesn't have anyone telling it how to show up. It's not, trying to learn from the bird. Right? We're out here learning from birds and we're an ant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're trying to do what the bird did and we're frustrated as hell because we can't fly like the bird can fly. We out here making wings and doing all this type of stuff, struggling as hell to fly like the bird when you're an ant. Be an ant. Be present in your now. Just live your life and get what you need. And I don't think that was the one that I wanted to do for like what I was saying before. I talked about like how life mimics nature. But so yeah, that's what I said. Like it's a whole different, like a whole different episode to do a deep dive into like how, the spirituality and like journey in life and nature and all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna wrap it up right now.
We gave y'all a good little hour. So after this episode drop, I'm taking another month off. No, I'm joking. If you watch this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you don't like watching video platform, we also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. God damn, what's going on today, man? All these big ass trucks coming through and shit. You want? Hey, follow us on WhatsApp. No, I was playing. Hit us up in the Gmail, please. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. If you want to make fun of me for shitting on myself multiple times in the hospital,
I'm finna be in the comments. Y'all join me in the comment section because I'm finna be nigga. I'm finna be in there. For
I don't
no
care.
reason.
I don't care, man. I'm not ashamed of myself. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. It was an experience. It's
It was it was wild the first few
though.
though, because they ain't give me no underwear. So like, yeah, that
You
shit was.
just laying that shit.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro.
All right,
I was embarrassed, like, and I had a male nurse too. That's when I started trading it. I was like, nah, that nigga going. Nah. It's different. It's different with a woman a little bit because you know y'all a bit more caring, understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's another nigga. Hell nah. And then that's probably what my sheets. Nah, I ain't gonna do my dot like that. Anyway, real.t.radio on Instagram, Real Talk Radio with 2 O's on TikTok. Like I said, hit us up in the Gmail, realtalkradio626@gmail.com. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Would you like to see Miss Shamika on here again? Would you like her to talk more about the spirituality stuff again? I'm gonna let you do that on your own solo episode.
I was about to say, or you can meet me over at the
Actually, no. Don't try to
go on my podcast.
I don't go on your platform and tell everybody to go on my platform.
Yes,
I do.
Yeah, exactly. We brothers and sisters at this point.
Yeah.
So.
We might have a combining podcast coming soon called I don't know.
we might. We might do a collab. And we don't know. It's too soon to say because we don't know what that's gonna look like for us. If we're gonna, because are we gonna still keep our podcast going and just do a whole third one, or are we gonna drop our two and then collab on a whole new one? We don't know yet what that's gonna look like. We're gonna allow God to speak to us and tell us what direction He wants us to go in.
Yeah, he need to stop doing it in that type of way. He can do it in a different way. He's fucking up my damn paper and shit.
Start meditating.
The fuck that gonna do?
You'll be able to hear.
Hear what?
He won't have to put you in
Here's
a
some
position.
money? He gonna send me some money through there?
Stop worrying about it. No, kid you not. He'll tell you to stop worrying about money.
He costing me money right now. He putting me in positions to see. Nah,
but he's telling you not to worry about the money because he supplies
up.
all your needs. If you lean into on him, because I don't worry about money. I have things that money needs. You know what I'm saying? There's responsibility.
Because you a hippie. That's what
I'm a hippie.
Yeah, no. You know what I mean? Like, well, peace, man. We don't worry about none of that.
No, but seriously though, aren't they be happy as hell, right? And sometimes that's more important than running and chasing the bag. Cause
I ain't talking about chasing the bag. He just costing me money. He could have did anything else. He put me in a car accident. He could have did anything. I'd rather got hit by a car than be in a car accident.
But
that still costs medical.
But look what you're driving now though.
Man, I want to show my old shit. Look, that's the old school drop. That's what I mean.
But it's sweet.
That's the cheap.
I seen the windows are tinted. It's clean looking. I know you.
Damn, what y'all say about my old vehicle?
I didn't really look at it like that. I'm just saying it's an upgrade at the end of the day. When God takes something away, He always come through with something better.
Man, I would rather take the old shit, man. I appreciated the old shit. The old thing.
And that's why He gave you something new.
God, I appreciate. No, I want to keep the old, man. I appreciate it. I'm not one of the people that don't need no new stuff now.
He knew you needed an upgrade, so he's like, don't
and now with the appendix, I
appreciate you.
I appreciate a safe surgery. But at the same time, man, you ain't have to infect my appendix, man. You could.
He ain't did that. You did that. He ain't got nothing to do with that. He had nothing to do with that.
I'm not gonna argue with you. Go argue with Google. Go argue with Google. Go argue with your mama.
No, I am gonna Google it later. But
Please.
twin, we need to. I got somewhere to be.
Oh wow, she got shit. Hey y'all, okay, we're gonna wrap it up because she got somewhere to be, y'all.
Don't do that. Because we were supposed to do a 30-minute episode. And I still sat here with you, and I listened to the story. I knew by the time we got to the part where I was like in the car and shit, and I get to 20 minutes, I was like, yeah, this ain't never gonna be 30. I accepted it. Yeah, I peeped that. When I saw, I was like, we was 15 minutes in, and you were still telling the story. I'm like, all right, babe.
I didn't know the story was that long to me. I thought I could tell the story in 10 minutes, and then we talked about something else, but nah. Yeah, I appreciate y'all who stayed for this.
Yeah, if you stayed till the end, bro, hit me, DM me. We friends now.
You're a real one. And for those who stayed, for those who didn't stay, fuck you. Because I know y'all was wondering, bro, this nigga's gonna talk about this shit. What's she there for? She's just... All right, man, we out.